Good morning!
Good morning, everybody!
Welcome to Trekfast. Today we have a very special guest, our good friend Matt McClanahan.
Hi, I'm Matt McClanahan.
He's a Trek veteran and a
Trek vet.
A Trek vet.
I am a Trek vet.
So Matt, how old were you when you watched your first episode of Star Trek?
Oh gosh, I was less than 10. I had to be right around like 6 years old. I would watch it every night with my brother, and we've seen every episode of the original series. The thing is, it's been almost 20 years since I've seen any episode of the original series outside of, I think, one that you guys watched here recently.
Okay, so it's going to be a bit nostalgic for you,
Mm-hmm.
but we're very excited to have you here.
But I've seen the old movies many times, well into, now.
Oh, cool.
Still watch them.
We're excited to get to those eventually.
Yeah. We might even have Matt for them too.
I will love to be with you for those.
That would be great.
I'm very familiar with them.
Let's show everyone our very strange breakfast today.
Yes, let us.
Here, Corey, why don't you introduce it because you're the one who made it.
Well, you guys can move it closer,
Yeah.
and I will, because we all kind of have the same thing.
Together, put them all together.
But what we have today is we have a little bit of sausage, hash brown, and chicken Alfredo, which is a little bit of a unique breakfast and dinner mashup. But we had everything in the freezer and decided to make it today. And it made a nice 3-piece meal for everyone, so it's pretty great. Except I have an extra sausage.
And Corey made it all for us. It was very nice of him. He did drop one piece of chicken, but that's okay.
It's okay. The chicken, I like the sausages a little bit more than the chicken. I did not spare a single sausage, or I didn't lose one.
All right, let's just get started then. With today's episode, we're on Season 3, Episode 10. Oh, we also have new batteries in our Apple TV remote, so we don't have to stand up to put on the episodes anymore.
Woo!
Plato's Stepchild is the episode. All right. Matt, you have no memory of this episode at all?
No, none.
Cool. We're excited.
I might some bits of fog, some images through the mist might grace me throughout the episode, but no, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know anything.
Let's do it. Oh, where'd the remote go? Oh, that's pretty good volume, actually.
Captain's log, stardate 5784.2. We are responding to desperate distress calls from an unknown planet. My science officer, Mr. Spock, is unable to account for this since he reported no signs of life on the planet. It is rich in chironized deposits, a very rare and long-lasting source of great power.
Are you from the spaceship Enterprise?
Glad we had a guest for that one.
I'm glad to see that one, that pinnacle episode, that history right there.
Historic.
All right, let's give a quick recap of the episode.
Yeah.
So the Enterprise, I guess, receives a distress signal, so they go to this planet that is obsessed with, or I guess they embody Greek philosophers, and they live like them and dress like them. Or
I think they left Earth during that time, so they kind of carried over all of those philosophies and mentalities.
Yeah, but it's not like really Earth. It was like some other planet.
Well, yeah, they went to a different planet from Earth from that time.
Right, now we embraced Plato, and now we're Plato's stepchildren.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure how. It was all explained very quickly in one speech.
There was a scene in the very beginning of the movie where this big scary shadow, and I look at it, I'm like, it's gonna be a short guy. It's gonna be a little person. It's gonna be a dwarf, and it is. Dwarf just walks around the corner and explains this whole lineage of the people in 30 seconds flat.
Yeah, so I was a little confused how they got their hands on the Plato material to be inspired by, but it doesn't really matter. So this short person that we meet in the beginning is named Alexander, and he is like a slave to all the other people on this planet. He's the one slave for all these other people who dress like Greek philosophers, and they have telekinesis powers, and they're all kind of jerks to this guy Alex. But one of them is injured, so they need McCoy to heal him. And then they're like, well, we want McCoy to stay. And they're like, McCoy's like, I don't want to stay. And they pretty much force him to, and then it's the rest of the episode is them trying to leave.
The rest of the episode is a lot of A lot of strange happenings.
Once McCoy decides I don't want to go, things get a little. They steer into crazy town. Some things get a little nutty.
Yeah, because they use their telekinesis power to use everyone like little puppets or chess pieces. There's a giant chessboard that everyone's on the whole episode.
A lot of crazy stuff happened.
It was a really weird one. Let's just take turns giving our reviews. Well, let's save Matt for last because he's our guest.
Right.
So
I'll go
you
first since I'm all the way over here.
Yeah. We'll bring it a little closer to you for your review.
Sure. From the beginning, From the beginning, I knew it was a historic episode, just because I kind of read up on it, unfortunately. But just because I was very curious about this one. There's a lot of Kirk hamming in this one, which is amazing. He goes nuts in like almost every scene, where it starts off where he's convinced to slap himself, which is crazy. He's sweaty and hitting himself, which is insane. And there is
that a good insane or bad insane? I assume you're saying you liked it.
These are what I enjoyed about the episode.
Okay, so you're first going through the things you enjoyed. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, like I really did like it. I don't really know if I want to give it a number just yet, but I liked when there was when they all gave him the items, when they all got the gifts. That was pretty cool. And Spock had the little harp. He had like a little Spock harp. That was nice. And then he goes on to sing a song.
Oh
which
yeah.
was even
oh
crazier.
yes, he does.
Take care, young ladies, and value your wine.
He sings a Spock song, which is amazing. But yeah, that whole torture. There was like this whole mental torture, turning them into chess pieces, turning them into like pawns, and like making them like do this weird like making Spock dance and making both of them dance, and then making Alexander ride Kirk like a pony was very very weird. The whole thing just steers into weird. And then, of course, they beam down, Uhura, and they have like this like little Greek like drama thing, and it's just like it just is like I don't know. I enjoyed it, but it did have this like air of just like weirdness. I was hoping to give it a 5. I really wanted to, but just out of mere confusion and it kind of like outdated like tactics and like some things like the end was kind of like ending on that like he's like we got a little surprise for you, and he just stares and smiles like
it was a short joke. Yeah, Kirk did a short joke at the expense of Alexander. It was not necessary and it was not funny.
So I unfortunately will give this episode a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
4 out of 5. Hash brown sausage Alfredo.
Breakfast meal.
Alfredo.
Yeah. 4 out of 5 breakfast Alfredo meals.
All right.
I enjoyed it. It's a great episode. I really advise everyone to watch this episode because it's amazing and it's really entertaining. Like the entire time, it's super funny. But nope, I gotta give it a 4 because there's some outdated things that are just like.
There is no Sulu in this episode, so Sulu meter does not move at all. But this is only the second episode of season 3 with.
And I have my predictions why he wasn't in because literally there was no dialogue for him. So they're like, why would they have him come in? Same with Chekhov. Just two dudes.
So I've talked about this on the show before, but it does really bother me when they keep doing Earth civilization episodes. It happens a lot. This is like the 3rd or 4th Greek/Roman one they've done. They go to the Old West. They go to Nazi Germany. Just like it's so. And I had a revelation today why that bothers me so much, and it's because you look at all this whole universe, this vast universe, and then you're like, well, why are all these planets mimicking Earth cultures? And then you're like, oh, wait, because this show is made for Earth people. Oh, wait, I'm watching a show. It like totally breaks everything.
Why do all the aliens look like people?
Yeah. So that does bother me a lot, and that's going to knock it down a few points for me, because it is also lazy, but the set looked great, and the costumes looked great, and I'm sure that's why they write these episodes. Like, we have all these sets and costumes around.
I mean, the set design, like, the way they shoot everything, all the effects in this one are great. When they have everything moving, because of the telekinesis.
They have telekinesis, so furniture is, like, sliding.
String, and things move very fluidly.
Star Trek is a low-budget show. It was a low-budget show in the 60s. I mean, they had episodes where they used salt and pepper shakers for sensors. Like that's how tight budget they were, and a lot of why they have such Earth-related sets and settings is because they literally shot this in Los Angeles soundstage, and they had access to prop houses for that studio. So they basically just had a whole bunch of wardrobes for Earth stuff and not a lot of alien stuff. And whenever they wanted to go on an alien planet, So every time they go to an alien world, you ever notice the alien planets always look kind of like the desert, and they always kind of have those jagged rocks.
Yes.
That's a national park next to Los Angeles called the Vasquez Rocks.
Yeah,
I
they
saw
show
it
it
actually
there.
while driving out into the desert. I passed where they shot like all those Star Trek episodes. It's just a big national park with these weird jagged rocks. That's where they'd go for their alien planet. So everything was done within like a 10-mile radius. Like they never really left.
That does make sense,
California
yeah.
to shoot.
So
Star
it's a
Trek.
budget issue, but
Yeah.
it's still
Still,
it still knocks it down a little for
It's a
me.
little piece of history.
Yeah.
That's why.
You still could like mix and match these costumes and stuff you have to make up your own things. You know,
Right.
it's and I did like Alexander. I thought he was a pretty good actor. A lot of the actors were very bad at making it look like they were being telekinesed around.
That was
Some
funny, yeah.
of it was really bad. And like Corey said, it goes to complete crazy down at one point in the episode. There's a song, everyone's dancing and kissing. It's like it gets really strange, but that did keep it entertaining. So I'm going to give it overall. I think I'm going to give this episode a 3 hash brown sausage Alfredo out of 5. All right, Matt. What do you think?
Okay, this is an interesting journey for me. Like I said earlier, this is kind of a foggy trip because I haven't seen this in 20 years. But and Corey called it earlier. I didn't realize you'd read up on it. I thought when
I was curious.
when
And
he
it was
said-
in the magazine over
okay,
here.
because when Kirk's like, oh, you know, we come from a place where people aren't treated about their size or their skin color. Corey's like, it's going to be this episode. And I'm like, really? Is it going to be that episode? That's a very Federation thing to say. I don't know if it's going to be. And I didn't know. I had no idea. But once Uhura beamed down, I'm like, yep, this is the kiss.
Yes.
This is it.
Did we even say that? Yeah, Ahura and Kirk kiss, and it's
Yeah,
the
this
first
is
interracial kiss, right, on television ever.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Which that is pretty cool.
That's
It's
pretty
pretty
cool.
historic. It's pretty nuts.
Now they didn't choose to kiss each other.
Yeah, it was like
It
kind of
was-
a weird-
they-
and it's
forced-
very awkward, and they zoom in and it gets blurry.
When
it
he's
goes
up,
into
he
focus.
just stares he just stares at the camera. He's like, you bastard.
Yeah, it's
you.
So they make them do it, so that kind of cheapens it a little,
Yeah.
but it is still historic and interesting.
And the scene before it is relatively good because it's like Uhura being like coming out with her feelings, being like about the captain. Like I like that because when you watch the show, they don't say a single word to each other, and Uhura never seems to have she rarely has any faults, and it's really cool to see her just be there and like kind of just discover more about her.
The
and
actual
it's
exchange between her and Kirk is so cool.
It's great.
She's
It
like,
was really
I'm
cool.
always scared, and you somehow
So I always-
keep this thing under control. It's like whenever I hear you on the intercom, it's like, all right, we're good. And it's like this really heartfelt moment while they're like trapped in this like telekinetic field.
Same with Spock too.
Yeah, Spock was amazing in this episode. His analysis on human emotion and also his sort of like struggle with self-containment.
Not to
I
mention
thought
his
was-
musical
I
number.
thought that was legitimately powerful when he cheesily breaks that little like thing on the table when he's just like must control the.
That was a really cool
And then
moment,
Kirk
yeah.
like goes to console him, and McCoy's like, "Dude, don't fucking do it. Like he's gonna like
Spock.
kill you. Like just let him chill out." And then Alex like freaking out and gonna stab everybody. Alex was a pretty stabby little guy. He liked the stab thing.
He's been pushed around a lot.
Pushed around. He was really. I actually thought he was a great character.
And a
I thought
great
he was
actor
really
too. He
good-
was really doing a great job.
He was
throwing himself
probably the
everywhere,
most
too.
sincere
Yeah.
performance.
Really.
And so that was really cool. I think the telekinetic control was delightfully bad. It was terrible, but on all the right ways and all the right frequencies. And I kind of loved how it dragged on, honestly, because that was just so funny to me.
Most
it
of the
was so
episode was literally a dancing
uncanny
around.
and weird, and it's just like this is. I know it's trying to be serious, but it's not. And it's funny because like early on, Kirk melts down in front of Alexander, and he goes, "Are there other people on this planet like you?" And Alex is kind of like offended. He's like, "Oh, you mean because I'm short?" And Kirk's like, "No, you don't have telekinetic powers. Or there are other people like you." And Alexander's like, "Oh, thank goodness you weren't talking about my height. Like you could have been a dick right there."
Yeah, Alexander
Like,
was great. Yeah, definitely.
But the end of the movie, the
Last
last thing out of Kirk's mouth. Mind you, this had happened like first act or first. Yeah, like this is establishing Alexander as a character.
And just having Kirk as a decent
And-
person,
and-
which then gets completely.
completely derailed at the end of the movie when they all gather around the beam up. Kirk knelt down again next to Alexander and goes,
I have a little surprise for you. I'm bringing a visitor aboard.
we're trying to treat this guy like an equal. We're trying to like empower, everybody. It's an episode about empowerment. It's an episode about self-identity. It's about being comfortable with who you are and comfortable around others. And Kirk just derails it in the last line of dialogue, and it just goes to the Enterprise. It's like the end.
Well,
It would have been great if they saw Alex's face after that, being like, "What?"
That's what I thought. I thought he'd like smile and be like, look at Kirk and be like, wait, wait.
So what's your review, Matt? What do you? How many sausage, hash brown, Alfredos?
What's it?
Out of 5.
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Oh, it was 4 sausage links out of 5. I think, even as a kid, I saw better ones. I don't know if you guys have seen the Folian episode yet, where they spin the web around the ship. I really like
that was
that
actually
one.
the
That was actually the last episode we watched.
The one with the buoy that won't move out of the way. That's another good one. I think that one's a little bit later.
I don't think we've seen that one.
The one with Abe Lincoln in space.
Oh!
No, we didn't see that one. But we know
we haven't
that
got
one's
to that.
coming.
I mean, season 3?
Yeah.
It's been
We're excited.
hitting. It's been hitting.
So all these moments,
Well,
all
yeah.
these great moments you have.
And
to-
you can be there with us.
You can be there with it.
On track.
All right, that's it. Goodbye for the day.
And I will
Thanks for
definitely be here
coming.
for the movies. I
Great.
have so much to say
Yeah, we'd
about
love to
them,
have you back,
so.
Matt. Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for coming, man.